when you're an orphan, you know what you do? You survive. You survive day after day after day. Situation after situation after situation. And what God began to show me is that if you're in survival mode, God is not big enough or active enough in your life. I spent 20 years in survival mode. Probably 30 if I really want to get down to the brass tacks of things. I spent probably 30 years in survival mode, just waking up, going to work, and waiting on lunchtime, and then getting home and wanting to hurry up and go to sleep just where I could escape the day. I learned to sleep as a mechanism. You know, if my day starts going bad, I would check out on you and take a nap. This is a defense mechanism that I created. It's called depression. You sleep things away. You sleep it off. You know, I can have a dream. I can be by myself. Who knows what's going to happen in my dream. You know, it's a totally different world, but I'm in survival mode. I was in survival mode for many, many years. And all of a sudden, I began to realize that I was an orphan. I began to realize that God wasn't big enough in my life. I began to realize that I wasn't giving God enough freedom. I began to realize that God wasn't big enough in my life. And once I began to realize that God wasn't big enough in my life, and that I wasn't giving Him access to everything, and that I wasn't giving Him access to my home, and I wasn't giving Him access to my job, and I wasn't giving Him access to my relationships, and I wasn't giving Him access to me, and I wasn't giving Him access to my finances. I wasn't giving... Matter of fact, I just pretty much was knowing Him in my mind and not my heart, and I was just kind of living a life, and I knew God, and the Holy Spirit would be talking all the time, but still I didn't give Him access. I didn't open the door. I didn't let God be a part of my life that He needed to be a part of. And so what I've done, I was an orphan. If you're in survival mode today, let me tell you something. You are a spiritual orphan. God is not big enough in your life. If you're just surviving and there's things in your life that are not lining up the way they did, it's because you're not giving God enough access to it, because He is a Father that loves you and that wants to move in your life. But you are a grown child that has to make decisions and choices, and you have a free will, and God is sitting there waiting on you. If you can give me that, I can fix it. If you can give me that, I can fix it. If you can give me that, I can begin to move around. If you give me this, I can begin to move in that situation. But you're holding on to it, and you're holding on to that orphan spirit, and you are literally just surviving.